Welcome to this edition of the Tire Rack Hot Lap. Matt Edmonds here with Randy Pobst. And Randy, today we're going to talk about a ride you had out at Big Willow, not something you normally would take to the track.
The Infiniti QX30. And when they told me that we'd be taking one of those out, I was surprised. I mean, an SUV. And looking at it though, it's one of the best looking SUVs I've ever seen. It looks to me like it's sort of just barely an SUV. It doesn't have that sort of off-road Baja pre-runner kind of a feeling, does it?
A little more of the crossover feel. So this is something that we're seeing more and more manufacturers do, a vehicle that is really a cross between an SUV and a passenger vehicle, giving you a lot of those benefits of the SUV: larger cargo space, higher seating position, a little more ground clearance. This vehicle actually has tires on it from Goodyear that are efficient grip tires, as they're called, but it's a Grand Touring summer tire. So should hold up a little better on the track than an all-season tire would, but certainly wouldn't want to use it in the wintertime.
That's not the kind of tire I'm used to driving on, right? Usually a max performance summer tire or even a track tire, like a Sport Cup 2 or one of those R compound kind of tires. So this was really a new world, driving really like a normal vehicle on the racetrack.
Well, why don't we take a look at this lap and see how it went? Well, Randy, that looked like that was not a bad lap for a CUV out on a big racetrack.
That's exactly right, Matt. It was surprising. I could just keep my foot in it in that QX30 and it worked. It was a good handling car. Really felt much more like a car. In your opening, you talked about the thing being taller, higher seating position, higher center of gravity. Those are the things that made me a little bit nervous about driving an SUV on a racetrack. But the QX30 works.
Well, and I'll tell you, one of the things that may have worked to your advantage out there was, as we talked about this tire originally being a Grand Touring summer tire, also it's an extended mobility tire. So it's a run-on flat tire. So this is a tire that typically is a little stiffer in its construction. This particular version of the QX30 had the 19-inch tire and wheel package on it. So it had the Grand Touring summer. If you get the 18-inch package, which probably a lot of people will get, it has a Grand Touring all-season tire. So something for people to be aware of, very, very important, particularly if you live in an area where you have to deal with winter. You want to make sure that you have a tire that works with it. Obviously, dedicated winter tires being the optimum.
Well, it makes sense to me, Matt, because the tire felt very grippy for an SUV.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Randy. And that's it for this edition of the Hot Lap. Look forward to seeing you next time.